A lot of stuff to talk about today. Football, baseball, basketball, and of course our favorite segment, Ask Brian.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, welcome in everybody to the NY to MD podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrod here on a Saturday. On a Saturday where it's going to snow. Yes, in Maryland, 2 days from ago, it could be 74 degrees, and you could be walking your dog in a t-shirt. And today, it's going to snow. Brian, how are you?
I am doing great, man. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy week, man. I was so loving that 75 degrees, man. It was great. Then my daughter told me it was going to snow today, and I was like, huh? So, yeah. So, I don't know, man. But, hey, it's all good. It's all good, man. Hey, the most important thing, though, Hurt, today is February 25th, which means there are only 23 more days of winter. Yeah! Spring is almost here. And as you know, I count down the days to spring every time.
What you need to do is go murder that rodent, first of all. So, that whole thing, he gets on my damn nerves. So go take him out, and all this stuff wouldn't even happen. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. NYMD Podcast, StreamYard, YouTube, Facebook, IG, Twitter, as well as Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find us, the NY to MD Podcast. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. But let's talk about some fun stuff. The NBA All-Star Weekend was last weekend. Of course, you had the celebrity game, which I always enjoy. I do miss Kevin Hart a little bit, though, because now they get like a lot of B stars and C stars I don't know about. But it was always fun. Of course, you had the skills competition, three-point contest, slam dunk contest. And, of course, on Sunday, you have the All-Star game. So you're telling me about a friend of ours who doesn't even watch basketball, but for some unknown reason loves All-Star weekend. What? Why? How? Who? What? Where? And when?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But yeah, Rudy, man, good Lord, man. He watches zero basketball, none. But he gets excited. And I mean, like excited when it comes to the NBA All-Star game, man. Like, this is like a big deal to him, which is kind of weird to me because, well, the dunk contest doesn't have the same cachet. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to. It doesn't really have any big name players. It normally has people I've rarely heard of, if I even heard of at all. But it is cool to see some new dunks, you know, from time to time. But the
things that they come up with.
Yeah, but for me, it's gotten kind of repetitive, and I don't know how innovative you could really be when it comes to dunking. But you know, it still has that excitement for people, which is why it's still around, man. But for me, All-Star Weekend is not that big of a thing. The thing I get excited the most is what you just said. It's the celebrity All-Star game. Like that one, I'll go out of my way to watch. I don't even really like watching the All-Star game as much anymore, man. So yeah, I just find that funny. But I was texting you, man.
I honestly thought you were kidnapped and someone was forcing you to watch the NBA All-Star game because I don't think I've ever got text from you during this game, like ever.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
I think a part of it, what it was, is just came home from long travels. I was tired. Like, what can I watch? I was like, oh yeah, the All Star game, and then I remembered, oh, they're doing this new format where they're picking teams like pickup style.
Right before the game.
Right before the game. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check that out. And let me tell you, Hurt, that's one of the best moves they done in a long time. I loved it, dude. That was so much fun. You had Giannis, you had Team Giannis and Team LeBron, and they were making picks. First, they picked the reserves, even though I think Giannis got a little bit confused at first, and then they started. And I was texting you. I was so into it. I was texting you like, "Yo, what is LeBron doing?" Yo,
I was like, no, I don't even like his team. And I'm like, what's wrong? What? I'm like, okay. Like, this is like real pickup. Like, you're just like, yo,
yeah,
taking it seriously. What's wrong?
But it was fun, and that's what the All Star is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Who cares East versus West? No, do it pickup style. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Well, they stopped the East versus West for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do like, because this was better to me than when they would do it on like YouTube or something. Not YouTube, but like they used, like it would be, it'd be the captains and they'd call into like Ernie and Chuck and Shaq and Kenny, and then they would do the picks that way and just like on video conference. It's much. I do like it better. It's in person. Yeah. Both dudes had notebooks.
Yeah,
sitting there, because it's where Giannis got confused. Can't pick Jason Tatum in the reserves because he's a starter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. And then just joking back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, man. So that was fun. And you know what? That's going to get me to watch it again next year. Now, granted, I will say this though. I did not watch the entire game. I think I watched the first quarter, and the level. And look, I get it. It's an All-Star game. Hurt. I get it. But good Lord, dude, the level of play, man. It's like I don't know.
No, there's like there might be a couple blocks that people that actually like when Giannis plays seriously. Yeah. That's the only thing I love when he plays. Unfortunately, he had his wrist injury.
Right.
So he didn't play. LeBron got hurt. So
he played. They gave him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you mean, Giannis for a little bit?
Yeah. Well, he played. He pretty much scored the first points and set out the rest of the game.
Yeah. And LeBron hurt. I don't know if he's hit his hand on the rim or something. So he was out for most of I think just all the second half. And they said he wouldn't return. But yeah, listen, I don't know what I was watching Sunday night. I wasn't watching that. I forgot what it was, and I cannot remember. But I was enthralled by some other show for some reason. But Jason Tatum scored 55, I believe, which is the All-Star game record. And
55. Wow, okay.
Yeah, so shout out to him. And Giannis's team won. First time Giannis's team won. He was 0-2 in this format. LeBron was 2-0. So this is Giannis's first win. And the thing I love too is how the stars act during All-Star weekend. Like they are just so happy to be around each other. It seems like it's competitive, but it's just fun. Yeah. The jokes, the interaction with the fans or the celebrities, like they attend all those things. Yeah. I especially love seeing them at the celebrity game. When they're just egging people on and talking to people, so that's the fun of it to me. It's just a relaxed way to enjoy basketball. So I don't, like I said, like with everything, just make it fun. Like I love the NFL flag football. I really did enjoy it. I'm like, each quarterback has its own. They have their own game. You don't worry about who plays now and who does what. It was fun. I love the rules. Guys are always going to be competitive, no matter what, because they're players. That's how they got there. So they're like, I'm going to score more touchdowns. I'm going to do this, or I'm going to intercept the ball, whatever the case is. And this All-Star game is just fun. But like you said, I'd rather watch most of the other stuff than the All-Star game itself. Or the All-Star game is one of those things where it could be on. And it's like, I was watching the Daytona 500 Sunday.
Oh,
I was more into that than I was the All-Star game. So
okay.
But I've always liked the Daytona 500. I've watched the Daytona 500 for years.
So here's the thing with the Daytona 500. That's something I would probably watch if I would remember when it was. I never know when it's on.
Yeah, no, you're not going to because there's no what shows we watch and where we watch it. There's no reminders that it's coming on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So there's no, hey, social media for us isn't going to show Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, the algorithms aren't going to come our way.
So who won?
It was Martin. No, not Martin Truex Jr. It's not Brad Keselowski. Oh my God, it was the first time winning. I see it. Oh, is it Brad? It wasn't Brad Keselowski. Oh my God. I see his name. Oh, what number car was he? Well, Bubba Wallace didn't win. That's all I was.
Okay.
I'll get it in a second, but it's the Great American Race. Everybody was there. I think it was the one Brad Doherty. Brad Doherty's part owner of the car that won. It was a single team car. It's like a married couple, and Brad Doherty owned this car that won. And most of them have most NASCAR teams have 3 or 4 or 5 cars, like Joe Gibbs Racing or Legacy Motors, which is what's his name? Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, the racer.
Okay.
And Richard Petty's team. So they have 3 or 4 cars. Michael Jordan's team has 2 or 3 cars. So it's usually bigger teams, but this was a one car team, so to speak. So it was really cool. But it was a great race. So
okay.
But I remember it's on because somehow I'll just turn and I watch ESPN all the time. I'm at the Daytona 500 today. It's oh, you know what I mean? Or I might see qualifying somewhere.
Yeah.
And remind me that it's coming on.
Well, I will. Like I said, that is an event, and that's probably the only NASCAR event that I will watch. So I just need to know when it's on. So.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm surprised you're still watching though. But so you don't like the 3-point contest?
No, it's boring to me. For me, it's shooting threes is boring.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was the winner.
Okay.
I know it was a junior somewhere. But yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished first. In the Chevy, number 47. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, so what else in basketball was going on? Oh, so my first Ask Brian question.
Oh, we saw that. Okay, all right.
Let's do basketball. This is going to come up through every topic we talk about.
Okay.
The Los Angeles Lakers are currently sitting in 13th place.
Okay.
They are boom, boom, boom. They are a game and a half behind Utah. Will the Lakers make the playoffs? And I think they have 24 games left.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
If they don't make the playoffs, I think it would be a massive disappointment for the Lakers.
That'd be past massive.
Because this would be 3 out of 5 years that LeBron's been a Laker that they wouldn't have made the playoffs, correct?
They definitely didn't make it last year. I don't even remember the other 2 years.
It was
5 years?
His first year, he got hurt. His second year, they won.
So the first year was pre-bubble?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Remember, he got hurt that year.
Was that his hamstring issues?
It was a major injury because he didn't play that many games.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, honestly, it's so funny. I don't even remember back that far. Like you saying he's been the Laker for 5 years, so he's been there 5 years. I still can't. That's still weird to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay. But I feel like it's just going to be a major disappointment because, he's again. I know Anthony Davis to me has been a disappointment, but that team has no business being behind. I don't even know who's on Utah. You shouldn't be behind Utah. You shouldn't be, behind half these teams. Who, again, the Pelicans have been okay. I know Golden State's 30-30 right now. They've had some injuries as well. Steph has been out. Clay came back. He's starting to get round back into form. So they're at 500. So they're actually only 2 games behind Golden State, to be honest. and they just beat them the other day. But for them, if the Lakers do not make the playoffs, it is probably, to me, the biggest disappointment in his career. There's no reason why they shouldn't make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. So you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Barely, but I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, so his first year with the Lakers, by the way, was 2018. He only played 55 games. Like I said, he got hurt that year. Then was
2018 seems so long ago.
Yeah. Then 2019, that was the bubble season because, that's 2019.
Sure 2019 was the bubble season?
Yeah, because the season started in 2019, right? And then it would have ended in 2020, which was when everything went
on. They stopped it during like January, March.
Right.
Okay, so that was still one whole season.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and then right now is 2022, which remains to be seen. Last year they didn't make it, right? So that's So right, so 2021 they didn't make it. 2018
is that 4 years? If it's 18, if we got there in 2018,
18 that was his first year. He got hurt. They didn't make it. 19 was the year they won. 2020, I don't think they made it that year, but he only played 45 games that year, so they didn't make it that year.
So he's been there 4 years. But they made
it. No. That's 2020. Then 2021 was last year. We know they didn't make the playoffs last year, and then they're currently in 2022 season. Which they only made the playoffs so far, 2 out of 4 years. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yep.
There was math involved. It took me a second.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I think it will be a massive disappointment. I mean, even with the roster turnover and all that stuff, you're LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? You should look. You took
the roster turnover has a lot to do with it, and the fact that Anthony Davis.
You took the words out of my mouth. That dude can't stay healthy, dude.
No, not at all, and he's just been blah to me.
Yeah.
He's just been blah. So
he's such a big disappointment to me. But anyway. But we'll see. I hope they do make the playoffs, man. I gotta tip my hat to LeBron, man. This dude's 38 years old, man. He's scoring 30 points a game. Like if you look at his stats, I still have his stats up. I mean, right now he's at 29.6, 50% field goal percentage, 31% 3-pointers, 8.4 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game. At 38 years old, that's crazy, yo.
Skip Bayless would hate his 3-point percentage. He's dragging the team down.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I don't know why he's taking threes when he's obviously hurting the team.
Yeah.
So question 2.
All right.
Will the Washington Wizards make the playoff?
All right. Can you break it? Can you give me the breakdown with them?
Washington Wizards are currently in 10th place. They have the last playoff or play-in spot, so to speak.
Okay.
They actually had almost the same exact record as the Lakers, which is funny. They're 28-31. The Lakers are 28-32.
Okay. Can you tell me the teams that are beneath them?
Behind them are the Chicago Bulls, who just added Pat Beverly, which you know how much I love Pat Beverly, to help them get a push to get in there. They're a game and a half in front of the Bulls. They're 3 games in front of the Pacers, and they're 3.5 games in front of the Orlando Magic, which are closest. They're a half game behind the Raptors, who are in 9th, and they're a game and a half behind the Hawks, who of course fired their coach, and it seemed like they're going to be hiring Quinn Snyder any day now.
Okay.
So they're 14-13 at home, actually, and 14-18 away, which is not too bad for them. So, Are your Washington Wizards making the playoffs?
Yes. Only because of the conference they play in, but yes, they're absolutely making the playoffs. Right. If they don't make the playoffs, look, they have enough talent on that squad to make the playoffs, dude. They
Beal and Porzingis, and everybody stays healthy. They should sew up a 10 spot. Like they should.
And Kyle Kuzma's really stepped his game up this year. You know what I'm saying?
Especially his wardrobe.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Man.
Yo, that bobblehead of his, yo. You just see the bobblehead with the long sweater, yo. That was the best bobblehead of all time.
Yo, that's crazy.
And I would have paid extra just to go to that game to get that bobblehead, yo. Matter of fact, I want to go on eBay and see if I can find it, see how much it's going for. Because I know somebody has to be selling that bobblehead, yo.
That is crazy.
Oh God, that's the all-time classic bobblehead. So, but all right, cool. So we got 2 down. I've asked Brian, so now we are moving on. So,
wait a minute. Eric.
Are you pulling up the bobblehead?
Yeah, so let's
Oh,
get
we gotta see the bobblehead. Son. We gotta see the bobblehead, son. We gotta see the bobblehead, son.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
First of all, that's not the bobblehead, but that was the sweater.
No, wait a minute. Where's the bobblehead at? Hold on, let me go down. Here's the bobblehead.
It's basically just that, but his head's a lot bigger. There it goes. Dude, oh man, I got a Capital One card. I would have got a discount.
Oh, yo. Oh, that. Yeah.
Look at that, 150. Jeez.
That is
dude. Yeah.
that
7-2. Oh, okay.
That is pretty funny, man.
Dude, that is something though that that's something that's a collectible.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Listen, I'm Honest Wagner's rookie card, Jordan's rookie card, all these Hank Aaron's, home run, that right there is a collectible. Messi's, World Cup, that is what you need in your.
Actually, now that a question just popped in my head when you said this. So when Obi scored his 800th goal, do they take the puck and hold it for him?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Is that something they do in hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they take it like a rookie scores. They take it, they give it to the trainer. He'll wrap tape around it, right? 800 or whatever it is on it. So yeah, they do that all the time.
All right. Okay. I didn't know if that was a thing in hockey. So, but I figured it was. Okay.
All right. So let's get to baseball.
All right.
So your favorite player, former favorite player, Manny Machado, was the first man to stand outside the batter's box too long and get an automatic strike called home. What are your thoughts about this rule? And do you like it? Do you hate it?
Can we stop this? All right. This is not football. This is not basketball where there's a shot clock. This is baseball, man. Okay. This is baseball. They're doing all this stuff like it's going to speed the game. It's not going to speed the game up. It's not going to speed the freaking game up, dude. It's baseball. If your pitcher sucks and he gives up 5 runs in an inning and gives up 4 runs the next inning, is that going to slow down the game? Is there any type of shot clock that's going to slow this stuff down? Just let baseball be baseball, man. And stop trying to make this into something that it's not. It pisses me off. That same article was talking about, we had to give the pitcher a ball because he didn't pitch the thing within 20 seconds. Give me a freaking break. This is so stupid. Do you think you're going to gain more viewers because there's a shot clock on the pitchers than in the batters and all this stuff? Come on. This is dumb.
They can't lose anymore. I'll tell you that much.
It's just stupid. Just let baseball be. Just let it be baseball, man. This is supposed to be different from the other sports. We going to all these lengths to make bases bigger and put shot clocks on pitchers and hitters. Getting sick of this, man. It's not baseball any freaking more, man.
So are you also angry at the pizza boxes for bases?
You know what? I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, okay.
But
they showed one.
Let me see if I can find it.
Dude, just show. I wish I could find it, but I know my computer messed up. Yours won't. Just put Jose Altuve on new bases. I want you.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Because I think that'll give you a good dynamic of how big the new bases are.
All right, I'm scared. I'm scared to pull this up, man, because I have not seen these bases yet. But
if you ordered Papa John's recently, so it's almost the same thing. Or do you like Papa John's or Pizza Hut?
Oh no, Papa John's is absolutely my favorite.
Oh, okay, Papa John's.
So
even though it has cheese on it, you don't like cheese.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
Let me mute this. Did you hear that by any chance?
A little bit, but not too much.
Okay, good. Oh, so you can hear my computer now. That's good.
It depends. When you actually probably want to play it, it's probably going to be silent.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. You said Jose Altuve.
I saw. Or just if you can't find it, just put baseball new bag, comparison or something. But it was funny because they actually had a picture of Jose Altuve on the new bags, and it was like this little miniature guy on like this city-sized bag.
Oh, okay.
It was just hilarious, yo. I was like, why they gotta play Jose Altuve like that?
Well, while I'm trying to find this, I mean, what are your thoughts on all these rules and restrictions and stuff? Like, are you embracing this, or do you think it's stupid?
I'm baseball.
Oh my gosh,
What?
these things are huge. Yeah. Oh, hurt. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
So,
Okay. This.
you know me, I embrace change when it comes to a lot of things.
Okay, I gotta show you this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they
So
throw the old bag to the new bag?
yes,
Okay.
it hurts. This is come on, dude. This is ridiculous, yo. Come on.
And voila. Yeah, it's literally looks like a pizza box.
Hurts.
Oh, now, okay, so it's so
That is
funny. Now.
huge. That
Okay.
is huge.
Now, it's so funny. Looking at the old base, it makes me feel like, why the hell were their bases so small in the first place? Like those bases. You know what I used to hate? Do you remember you used to play during gym? They used to have those bases that they would just put on the ground, like the red ones. I don't know if you didn't have gym at your school, but maybe before you got to that school, they used to, like, if you play. Did you play kickball down here and stuff?
Absolutely. That's how I got into baseball, was kickball. Yes.
So then they would put those little orange bases down that weren't anchored to anything, and you sit there, you try to touch it, you go flying because the base goes flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a visual of that. But okay, like, since I've played baseball most of my life, you know, the surface area on those bases, especially as a kid, seemed bigger. But looking at that, I'm like, why wouldn't you have a bigger base?
Okay. Here's what they should. Now you probably will disagree, right? Here's what I think they should have done. Kept the bases the same. Kept the base the same, right? So, all right, let me pull this back up.
Well, maybe there'll be no more neighborhood plays now. Like his foot was in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
God,
so this is the regular size base, right? They should have kept this at second base, right? Kept the width the same and extended it a little farther, so it's not actually a square, but it's a rectangle. That way, but keep the width the same.
Like for the corner bases?
Yes, for the corner bases. That way, or maybe even
All
just
of them have to be the same dimension. Now, my question is, did they make home plate bigger?
no, of course not.
Can't make home plate bigger. But,
No, I think maybe just make the exception for first base where we extend it a couple inches so that it's a
because most of the injuries occur if people running to first.
Right. Nobody's rarely on third base when the runner's on third base, or second base when the runner's in second.
Yeah.
Let's extend the first base a couple of inches. That way the first baseman has a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I agree with you on that. I think it's safer because that's the base everybody lunges at. Third, you either run around or you're sliding into. Second, you're either running around or you're sliding into. First, you can run around it, of course, but that's the one that you're trying to beat something out usually.
Yeah.
So you're not sliding for the most part. You're running through it. So maybe that just should be it should be kind of extended and made safer.
Yeah. And so, because in spring training, Cedric Mullins and Jorge Mateo have been bragging about how they're going to have 50, 60 bases. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Dude, now I see what they're talking about. They're easily going to have 50 stolen bases this year. Easily.
Well, good. I hope so, because ain't nobody still. I miss that. I miss stolen bases in baseball. That was such a big part of baseball. And then it just went away because everybody needs to hit home runs. So let's move the fences in and out. And,
This is so stupid, because what about all those close plays? No, because now I'm thinking about, like, routine plays to first. Like, it's such a disadvantage, dude. It's like, this is just so stupid, man.
Well, the shift is gone, so I don't care.
I just realized, so now all these now
there's still going to be closer plays because they can still block the bag. Like, like somebody trying to run back to first or something. You know what I mean? You can still block.
But I'm talking about those, like, bunts. There's going to be a lot of people bunting more now, because now.
Believe me, I know you guys don't know what that is. So what happens is the pitcher pitches the ball.
It's going to be more.
The guy squares around and makes contact lightly with the ball. It's called the bunt. I know you American leaguers ain't seen that in decades. So I'm surprised you even know what a bunt is. You've probably seen it once or twice. Or you did used to watch Twib Notes. So,
Hey, I love Twib Notes, bro.
Why don't we have a show like that? Of all the things that you bring back and do over again,
well,
I'm not saying that you had the guy. I mean, the guy who did Twib Notes was awesome, but you need to have that. Have the music, and come back and we're like, and this weekend Twib Notes. We have, because that's how I knew everybody.
Yes.
I knew all the Padres. Yes. I knew all the Mariners. I knew all the California Angels. I knew those guys because Twib Notes would go by like, oh, we have a new rookie coming up for the Padres, John Crook, first baseman, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, okay, I know this guy. Or when you talk about the Oakland A's or somebody, especially because we're East Coast, learning the West Coast, Midwest teams, it was cool. I knew Detroit Tigers. I can't name you not one Tiger now. I don't even know if they even play in Detroit anymore. I have no idea.
What's that stadium called?
I don't even know. Is it Comiskey? That's in Chicago. See, I don't even know. Is it Ford Field? I have no idea what it's called now. I don't even know if they played a new one. I don't even know. I missed the one that Cecil used to hit the home runs over.
Yeah, yo. Tiger Stadium.
That was like a triple decker, too. That was who the hell made that?
I know.
Decker Stadium. Anyway. But give me that show. I need that show back. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Too much time on baseball. But yeah, real quick, I'm excited for it. I like all the new stuff because I need to see, you know what, it may not help, but I'm willing to try something because I don't even watch baseball games because they take too long. I don't have 4 hours of my day. Well, where do you go watch soccer? Because it's 2 and done. Yeah. Like Chuck Woolery, 2 and 2. That's it. I'm good. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Game starts at 10. It's over at 12. Baseball starts at 1, 5:30. I got time for that, yo. On a 9-inning game. 9 innings. So I can't. That's the part of me that I don't have that part of my day anymore. Like the Mets and Orioles play same East Coast. Maybe come out 7:30, something like that. Why is it over at 11? It's a lot. I'm ready to go to bed. That means they took up every prime time minute that I could be watching something else. Those are 3 other shows I could be watching. Well, my brain doesn't work like that anymore as I gotten older. You understand what? But that's why I don't even watch NFL games. And they're only 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I watch Red Zone. I can't sit there and watch unless it's Thanksgiving Day or something like that. Yeah. But I'm not watching 3 or 4 hour games anymore. I just can't do it.
Well, I hate to break the news to you, but this is not going to speed the game up, yo.
Well,
and if it does, they'll speed it up by like 10 minutes. Big whoop.
Hey, you know what? It may be 10 more minutes I can watch it because it's going to be less time. I don't know.
All right.
We'll find out. But more spring training reports as spring training goes along.
And the Orioles played their first game today. I need to check and see if it's on Madison because I might watch it.
Woohoo! Who they playing? I think we played the Astros.
I think Minnesota, maybe?
Oh, okay. Soda.
Yeah, let me check.
Spring training, brother. Oh, I saw that we're having our Hall of Famers or famous old players coming in to spring training to help teach. And like David Wright's coming in like May 3rd to do a little clinic and be with the team. And Daryl's coming back for some stuff. And so I kind of like that. Like you're bringing back the legends. So you have a reason to go. That's why I want to go to spring. We're going to do our spring training tour. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool, man.
All right.
And Orioles do play. They play the Minnesota Twins at 105 today.
All right, 105, brother. All right, so on to football.
Yes.
Have you watched any of the XFL? Brian Crescent, number 3.
Absolutely not.
What?
Honestly, I didn't even know the XFL was on.
Should be ashamed of yourself. Should be ashamed of yourself.
I shouldn't, but okay.
No, it's not snowing yet.
Well, I'm still looking at these baits. This is ridiculous.
I've watched some of the XFL games, and I actually liked it. I like some of the rules they have. I really like some of the rules. You should watch just because some of the differences they have, and I really think they can incorporate some rules that they have in the XFL in the NFL just to prevent injuries, and I think it just brings some excitement to it.
Question: can you bet on the XFL?
I believe so.
That might be the only thing that get me to watch.
Listen, I'm Listen, my DC Defenders are 1-0. That's all.
Okay. All right.
That's all I care about. So you pick your team. I got DC Defenders. I think Dan has the Orlando Renegades or whatever.
Let me tell you something. The Defenders is such a better name, than the Commanders. I would have liked the regular team than the Defenders.
Well, because that name was taken.
Oh,
By the Defenders. We couldn't have, but I still would hate that because that sounds like an arena XFL name. But Commanders too.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst name. Maybe the new owner, whenever we get one. Well, maybe they'll go and change the name. Anyway. Speaking of going back to football, you got a new coordinator, offensive coordinator. We have a new offensive coordinator. I want to start with yours first. Yeah. You have a 2-time winning national championship Georgia Bulldog offensive coordinator leaving Georgia, coming up to Baltimore, replacing Greg Roman. What are your thoughts, feelings about hiring Todd Monken?
I like the hire. I saw the press conference that he had, and I was really impressed. Sounds like he's a no BS guy. He has a track record. You know what I'm saying? I've heard multiple opinions of people saying that Todd Monken was one of the most important hires that Joe Kirby, what's his name? Kirby, the head coach of Georgia. I forgot his first name. Like I said, Joe, but I don't know. Steve Kirby.
No, just say Kirby. Hey, Grace.
But anyway, a lot of people say that was his most important hire because the defense was good,
that defense was top notch.
Yeah, but once he got there, he put the offense all together, and you can see how effective he was in the development of Stetson Bennett, who I didn't realize was a walk-on.
Kirby Smart, by the way.
Kirby Smart, thank you, Kirby Smart.
I was like, maybe he'll realize that Kirby's his first name.
Yeah. So but I like it, man. I like the fact that he has experience in the NFL as a coordinator. He was on Cleveland in 2018 or 2019. He was on Tampa Bay when they were throwing the ball up and down the field and had 1,000-yard receivers. So
I like NFL experience.
Yeah, so I like the fact that he has NFL experience playing calls. He did it at the highest level in college. So look, man, I'm happy. I'm good, man.
Cool. Yeah. Good. Well, my thoughts on your offensive coordinator is I think he'll open up the field more. I think he's a little bit more or less stubborn than the one that you had.
Okay.
And I feel he's definitely he has a history of success.
Yeah.
So I think bringing that to Baltimore would definitely help out whomever the quarterback may be. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit further down the road, the Washington football team hired a new assistant head coach, offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
In one, Eric Bieniemy.
Yes.
2-time Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, leaving his offensive coordinator for assistant head coach, offensive coordinator with Washington. What are your thoughts about him leaving Kansas City to go to Washington?
Right. So a couple things.
Grayson! She look at the TV like what? Computer.
What was that?
Yeah.
So a couple things, right? What have we heard about Eric Bieniemy, right? Why about him not getting the head coaching job? What have we heard?
Well, he doesn't interview well.
Right. He doesn't interview well, right?
You know what? I didn't take tests well, but I can do homework.
Right. He doesn't interview well. He wasn't really calling the plays in KC. Andy Reid was the one that was really calling the plays, right? So I made sure that I watched the press conference, right? But when I said, let me watch this press conference because I don't really know that much about Eric Bieniemy other than his resume. I don't really know about, and other than the fact that I remember him playing as like a running back or whatever back in the day. I don't really know too much about him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Gracie? So I was like, let me watch this press conference. So I'm watching the press conference, and you know what my first thought was? Take a guess.
What is he doing here?
Yes. My thought was,
first of all, wait, how hard is it to say yes. How did that? Was that you really said yes and then shook your head no?
Yes, because I'm like, how is this dude
That's
not a head?
difficult to do.
I
Yes.
don't know why I did that. Dude, I'm so upset right now. I'm watching this press conference. I'm like, why is this guy not a head coach? What is he? Why is he there? I mean, I know why he's there,
Yeah.
but I'm asking, what is he doing here in the sense like this dude should be a coach? Like I'm listening to him talk. I'm listening to him, talk about all these different aspects of him and what he wants to do. And I'm like, all right, he doesn't interview well. That's BS. I'm not buying that one. Did you see this man's press conference?
I actually did not watch it.
Okay, dude, I was so impressed.
I already know who he is, so I'm not. I don't need to.
Yeah, but you hear this stuff like, oh, he does an interview. Like, you know who he is, right?
Yeah, but a press conference, I'm not backing up what's being said about him. I'm not. Right. But I know a press conference is different. We could do this, but you put me in an interview, I'm a whole different person. You get what I'm saying?
Right, but it's still, but you can compare because it's how you're presenting yourself to the public. It's how you're presenting yourself to the media, to the public as a whole. So my thing is, if you can't present yourself in a positive way to the public, then that will probably give an idea, maybe a sort of an indication as to how he interviewed. But the fact that, in my opinion, he knocked it out the park on this press conference, this man knows how to communicate. This man knows how to articulate his goals and his visions. So I don't want to hear that this man was horrible. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. And I'm just like, how? To me, this sounded like a head coach press conference, not a coordinator press conference. And I'm like, it just kind of enraged me even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy should not be an OC. This dude needs to be a head coach, man. So that's all I'm saying. Because if you go by his resume, right? If you just the way he presents himself, because this is all we see anyway, right? This is all we know about head coaches anyway. We know them by their resumes, and we know them how they present themselves in press conferences. That's pretty much all we know in interviews and press conferences. So this made me more just curious and just disappointment how this guy has not gotten a shot with his resume. 10 years of coaching experience, 5 years as an OC, 5 years going to the 3 years going to the Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl wins, like
2 AFC championships, right?
Right.
5 AFC championships.
I just don't. I don't get it. So all the excuses, all the BS, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So I'm sorry, man. It just pisses me off. It just pisses me off.
What are you apologizing for?
Huh?
So what are you apologizing for?
I don't know, man. Because I watched the press conference. I'm like, because this was really like my first impression. I didn't even know what Bieniemy sounded like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see him. You see him on the side. They showed a quick clip of him on the sideline, but I never heard him talk. I never heard him. I never really seen him present himself. So I was really I came away impressed, and like you said, what is he even doing here? This dude should be a coach. But anyway, head coach. Anyway, I'm rambling, man. So
yeah, well, what is it that I said? I texted a while ago, even though I know you don't look at most of the stuff I send you.
I do look at the stuff. What I can't remember. What did you say?
I said I would love for him to be the offensive coordinator for Washington because it's going to make the team better. But that's not the job that he deserves to have, period. So part of me is angry that the fact that he had to leave what he was doing well to go somewhere to supposedly once again prove himself when he's already done that.
Yeah.
So the fact that he has to go do this someplace else, the same thing, a different title, yes, but is ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
As we've watched football since we were kids. There's been so many times there have been head coaches or people who are hired, not like interim head coaches, the Richie Pettibones, the guy Ray Hanley, all these people, Joe Judges, the Matt Patricias of the world who really didn't have a resume. They just came from a tree, right? But we're like, oh, because you came from here and you get a ringing endorsement and you won there because they won there, we're going to give you a chance. This guy comes from a tree that is successful, like Matt Nagy, who's taken back his old job as offensive coordinator in Kansas City, who got hired because he was an offensive coordinator in Kansas City under Andy Reid. And this guy's not given that same sort of, you're from this tree, we'll take the benefit of the doubt and give you a head coaching job.
Right.
This is ludicrous, it's insane, and it's demeaning. And I'm angry for him. So the good thing is I get to root for him now, like 100%, but I also want to root for him to be successful at what he's doing and to then become a head coach someplace else.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm so rooting for him now, man. Now it's like, dang, man. I almost kind of wish the Ravens would have hired him as OC, man.
No, that would have been horrible. I would not have been happy with that. He wouldn't look good in purple. He only looks good in red or
whatever. But I will say this. Here's one of the things I didn't realize in listening to the press conference, and now I see why he's in Washington. I didn't realize that him and Ron Rivera had a long. They worked together. They've known each other forever. They were. I guess they worked together in Philly. I guess. I don't know, but he's known him for a minute.
Yeah.
And then he kept saying that, just the relationships. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize he had this long-term relationship with him, and that they known each other for so long. So I'm just really glad that he's given this opportunity, man. And honestly, I hope he's one and done. I hope he's 2
and done. But I don't mind him being head coach of my team. So if Ron needs to step down, that's the guy who I want. I'll just hit my hand. That's you.
Well, I don't know if Bezos has anything to do with it, man. You might want to get his own guy in there.
Oh yeah, which should be Bieniemy. I'm fine with that.
By the way, how do you feel about
Jay-Z or JC? Whoever.
Bezos has hired an investment firm to explore possible bid for buying the Washington Commanders. How do you feel about that?
Is the name of who's going to buy this team the same as who owns it now?
No.
I could care less who it is. Now it's crazy. Again, you know how super Arsenal I am. Now, the only guy I don't want buying this is the guy who owns Chelsea. I don't want that. I don't want any cross mingling. Todd Bowley. He's an American guy. He owns Chelsea.
Okay.
He bought Chelsea. So I don't want any co-mingling of that sort of thing. I don't want any. I'm so crazy that way. It's hard for me to separate the two. You know what I mean? Okay. So like again, there's like Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, who owns the Rams. He owns the Avalanche. They won titles. He owns Arsenal. That's all I'm saying. So I believe some of these things kind of can go together, but I don't want that. So Bezos, Jay-Z, you know, L Boogie, if you guys have someone, I don't care because you guys would run it way better. Well, maybe L Boogie would because I know how you might be, but could run it better than that guy. I really do. My sons could run Washington better than that guy.
I'm sure.
And it's wouldn't even be close. Wouldn't even be close. That organization would be so much better than what it is now. Now, the one thing I love about the press conference is that Terry McLaurin was there. Sam Howell was there.
Oh, okay.
My running back was there. I forgot his name already.
Brian Robinson?
No, the other one. And Gibson. Antonio Gibson was there. And the tight end was there.
Logan?
Logan, who's always hurt. But they were all there to support him. I mean, I like that too. That's like,
That's cool.
Now, I didn't see the press conference, but I saw him talking to Terry afterwards. And he was just like, I'm here. I know this job. I'm here because of you. He's reporting to Terry. He's like, I appreciate that, man. I mean, I love everything you do. I mean, it just, Terry's a dog. I love Terry. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dude. So, and he's so underrated. But, of course, it doesn't help when Carson Wentz doesn't throw you the ball. But I just feel like he is in tow to have a breakout season with this guy's head coach. So I can't wait for that. But, again, Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach, not an assistant head coach or offensive coordinator. But at least he gets to call his own plays now. It won't be any sort of thing going on. Oh, well, Andy's doing this or this person's doing that. It's all on him. So I wish him luck wherever he was, but he happens to be of my team, so I wish him luck. So, but my question to you, who's going to be the quarterback that Todd Monken is calling plays for?
Oh, hurts.
That's right.
This has been a drama-filled week, and honestly, Hurt, I'm just done. I need this Lamar Jackson
Closure.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Lamar's coming back, man. And I've resigned to the fact that he will not be my quarterback. You know, I stopped buying jerseys a while ago because the last jersey I bought was Ray Rice.
Yeah, I remember that.
I bought Ray Rice in the offseason before all the stuff went down. I never had a chance to wear that jersey. For Christmas, my wife got me a Lamar Jackson jersey.
Aww.
And I was like, wow, this is awesome. But I said, hold on to this jersey.
Hey, Tito.
I was like, hold on to this. I'm not even going to wear it because I don't know if this dude's going to be around. And I ain't wearing those jerseys of nobody, you know what I'm saying, on my team.
You know what? Let me text her now and tell her to get you a Stony Case jersey. Because that's the only one that you know. That dude's a lifetime Raven. Why did she get you that one? She should have asked me. I would have said Stony Case.
So anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because I've been holding on to the jersey just in case he stays. This week I gave it back to her. I was like, I
gave it back to her already.
Yeah, I said because I told her, she told me to hold on to it in case I wanted to return it, but I said I won't know until this all gets resolved. I just gave it to her. I was like, just you can return it.
Dang.
I'm done. Hurt. I'm done. I can't do it anymore, man. I just want it to be over. Just trade them. Just trade them, and let's just move on. I mean, the Ravens have messed this up. I can't, I got to put blame on both sides. I think this, I truly believe this would have been done if Lamar had an agent. This would have been done. This would have been done a while ago. I think the Ravens made a mistake by not locking him up. The moment Josh Allen signed, the Ravens should have signed him. Period.
I think it's the timing to me. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because you had your comparable. You know what I'm saying? This is what they paid Josh Allen. Give him the same contract, but maybe a little bit more since at that time he had won an MVP. Period. It's that simple. But no, they had to wait and string this out. In the meantime, Deshaun Watson got the guaranteed contract. And that's held up things. Now the terms of the contract negotiation hasn't been leaked except from the NFL Players Association around right at training camp last year. But now this week, all of a sudden, the Ravens are coming out saying the only counter offers they received were fully guaranteed contracts. That pissed Lamar off. To the point where they contacted the biggest mouth in sports analysis and Stephen A. Smith. So, you didn't know that?
No.
Yes. So yesterday, because that was a big report that came out by Jameson Hensley and another ESPN reporter that pretty much said, Lamar wasn't returning phone calls at spring training to start the negotiations. He always kind of offers with guaranteed contracts. So then Stephen A. Smith yesterday morning talking about, I was contacted personally by Lamar's camp. They reached out to me. And they told me emphatically that he never, ever asked for a guaranteed contract.
Fully guaranteed contract.
Fully guaranteed contract, right. So and they told me that the Ravens stopped at $133 million guaranteed. And if that's the case, if that's true, that is an insult. And all, Stephen A. went off. So I say all that to say Ravens leaked out something on Thursday. Then Lamar and them reached out to Stephen A. Smith, and that's when you realize, all right, now it's getting ugly. Because now
that's getting ugly when.
So
am I wrong?
It's over. I mean, what do you think? It's a wrap, right?
Well, I was having this discussion with my son because he said, "What is Lamar thinking? He should accept that deal, like 130. I think it's like 230 or 50, 5 years, whatever it is, and 133 guaranteed, right?" And I was having this argument with Dan as well. So I was arguing with Dan about something. About it. My view is, that's an insult to how I feel to Lamar to offer him $100 million less. I'm not saying he should get 230. I'm not saying he should get 230.
Right.
But the numbers are out there. We all know Deshaun doesn't deserve that contract, and that ownership group is desperate and is inflated. But put it like this, if the number, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, say like gas prices, right? Mm-hmm. Say the number up there is 230. That's the number that's there. Not knowing Lamar as well as you and anything like that. I don't think Lamar's like, I want to take everybody's salary cap and do this. Lamar's not going to a hobbit house into a dark place and going on a retreat about this, okay? You know what I'm saying? He's his own agent, so he's going to be there. But if I see this guy's getting 230 and you offer me 133, that's an insult to me.
But let me stop you. Here's the thing we don't know, right? You got to remember, that's the fully guaranteed amount. We don't know what the total guarantees are because there's fully guaranteed at signing, but then there's also guarantees locked in those second and third years for injuries. So we don't know what the total guarantees. And he told Diana, what's her name, Taurasi?
The guard for the Sun?
Oh, no, not Taurasi. What's her name? The ESPN reporter when all this was going on after in spring training.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, but she asked asked him about the guaranteed amount, and he said it was like around 160 to 180 million or something like that. So I think the 133 was just fully guaranteed, but the total guarantees I think were around 160 to 180.
Okay.
So we got to, but that's the one.
We definitely don't.
We don't know what the total guarantees were.
Yeah,
right?
But the problem is that, okay, for what I do know, which is all I do know, is that I've seen 133 floating around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Lamar should get 230. Now, do I feel like he's been more of a proven better quarterback, 45 and 16 as a starter, putting this organization on his back and deserves more than that? Yes. Do I think he should be the highest paid quarterback in football? No. But his guaranteed money, from what I see, the 133, should be higher than that. Because I feel like, go ahead.
But that's guaranteed at signing. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what the total. We don't know what the total.
That's what I'm saying. I can only go by what I see. I don't know anything.
But that's more. That's what I'm saying. That's more money than anybody. That's the total guarantees at signing was more than Russell Wilson, was more than Kyler Murray. We don't know. We don't know what the total guaranteed money is.
All right. So Deshaun's total guarantee, his whole contract is guaranteed, right?
Right.
At 2-something.
235.
235.
46.
All I'm seeing is 133. That's all I'm seeing, right? The benchmark is Deshaun, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it needs to be and I don't know, I'm only going by what I saw. To me, it should be in the 180, 190 range. And fully guaranteed. And you have your little other bonuses, whatever else you want to put in.
But, okay, but you got to remember this. I think what the Ravens are doing, here's what I would do, right?
I just also don't like how public this is either. Like, it feels weird because the Ravens are
They haven't made it, but see, that's the thing. Up until this week, Lamar or the Ravens have not made anything public. The reason why we know some of this stuff is because last training camp, the Players Association leaked deals of the contract to Chris Mortensen.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So, and we know it was the Players Association because it wasn't the Ravens and it wasn't Lamar. But here's the thing, Hurt. Okay, if you give Lamar, right, 133 million at signing, right? Okay. So, and you break that out over 5 years, right? So that's only counting against the cap about 27 million against the cap. you're not going to cut him in the second year because you have a dead cap of like $100 million. So automatically his second year he's going to make that money because they're not going to cut him after 1 year because that would be detrimental. And they probably they said he would get more guaranteed money that second year, which is another year's salary, which is like $45 million. So that goes up to 170, right? Then they probably added another $30 million in total injury guarantees. That's what I'm saying. Even if they give him 133 at signing, plus he's going to play that second year, and they probably added some more injury guarantees, you're going to make your money. You're going to. You're not going to make it because the Ravens aren't going to cut you after their second year because they can't. There will be a dead cap number of like $100 million, and that will be team suicide. So it's just, I don't know. I think the Ravens are being fair. There's a lot we still don't know. The bottom line.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We just don't know. But I don't think the Ravens are being unfair. I think they've mishandled this. I think they should have locked him up right after Josh Allen. There's no excuse. You had your comparable. You had it. They should have just said, Lamar, we're going to give you this contract. We're going to add $2 million more a year, $3 million more a year, and that's it.
So you don't think they're even going to franchise him this year?
But here's
you franchise him, was that $40 million?
Here's the problem, right?
1 year, $40 million.
Right. Well, 45.
Oh, it's 45. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that, 45.
Right. Here's the problem, though, and I was convinced they're just going to franchise him, wait them out, see what Joe and Justin Herbert, now Jalen Hurts get, but they can't do that because right now they're only $27 million under the cap. So how are they going to bring in a receiver? How are they going to sign their draft picks? You know, they're going to have to cut some people. They're going to have to restructure other people's contracts. But now it just looks to the point when you put all the pieces together, it just looks like they're going to trade him because if you put all the pieces together with him not playing in the playoffs, with him putting out the tweet ahead of the injury report, you know, it just seems like he was undermining the coaches with that. He didn't show up to the playoff games. You know what I'm saying? I think it's headed in a bad direction, man. And it's a shame because it sucks, man, because you like all you do when you watch like a Mahomes and all these other quarterbacks, like, man, I wish I had a quarterback like that, yo. We finally have a generational talent at quarterback who from the moment he stepped on the field, he changed the entire franchise.
Well, let me ask you a question that I just thought about. What do you think Lamar wants?
Lamar wants to get paid. I honestly think here's what I truly think with Lamar. I think he wants to stay in Baltimore.
I totally believe it.
I don't think he wants to leave.
That dude, I mean, when you go down to the market, flea market, and you're in, there's not too many people. I never saw Kyle Bola down at the flea market. You know, I never saw Trent Dilfer down at the flea market.
Right.
You know, he's like part of the community. He's like, to me, it's Justin Tucker and him are like guys in the community, to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he fits the city to me. That's just my being. I mean, I'm not from here. I lived here for so long. Yeah. He just fits Baltimore so well. So that's why I was like, what? And of all the questions of the money going back for, like, what does Lamar want?
I think he wants
235, or you think? I feel like he would take less, but I feel like it's going in a way where he feels disrespected. But what do you know what I mean?
I think a couple things here, and this has been my suspicion the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think he's because he doesn't have an agent, right? Whereas if he had an agent, I think the agent could clearly convey to him what the best deal is for him, taking everything into consideration. Because when you're negotiating a contract, you can't just take one. You know, and I hear people say it ain't, and then Lamar's fault that Cleveland paid him all his guaranteed money. You're right, but you can't just take one contract and just say and use that as the basis of yours. No, you have to take everything in consideration. And not only do you take other people's contracts, but you have to take in your performance into consideration as well. Yes, you won an MVP, but all right, you've also missed the last 2 years due to injuries. You know, your stats aren't up to par, not winning percentage, but I'm just talking about his touchdown ratio, his intercept, all that stuff. If you look at those, his passing yards, if you look at all that, they're not as comparable to some of the higher some of the higher paid quarterbacks.
Actually have real receivers, yes.
Right. So I'm not saying that to demean him, but
Oh yeah,
you have to, when you're negotiating contract, you take all these things into account.
consideration, yes.
Right. And so my suspicion all along since last year is that I believe that Lamar Jackson is being used as a pawn for the Players Association. I think he's getting good advice from the Players Association, but I believed all along that they are using Lamar to try to get a guaranteed contract so that when he gets the guaranteed contract, that will set a precedent for all quarterbacks moving forward. Because if he gets a guaranteed contract, it's over. It's a wrap. Any quarterback, any superstar quarterback is going to have a guaranteed contract. And I think that taking advantage of the situation, using him as a pawn to further the future players. That's been my suspicion because I can't believe for the life of me that the Ravens would try to take advantage of him and that they would try to give him an unfair contract because if they were to do that, that makes them look bad. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, the Ravens took advantage of a guy who didn't have an agent. No,
and they don't seem to me their reputation doesn't suggest
right. So I think they probably
not Washington.
Right. I think they offered him a fair. I'm sure they offered him a fair contract, right? I think they didn't offer him the contract that Lamar wants, and I think the NFL Players Association is pushing Lamar to stay in his ground for a fully guaranteed contract because if he does it, and if he puts himself in a situation, not in Baltimore, if it's somewhere else and someone else pays him, it's game over. And I think they're using. I think Lamar Jackson is a pawn in all this. I do. I could be wrong, and I'm not saying that to diminish his smarts, his business smarts, or his business savvy. I'm just not convinced.
Hey, his teammate got a contract without an agent, so
Right.
Again,
And it took no time.
Yeah.
But he's not a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course not.
But like you said, he was. But
that dude got a good deal though.
Yeah, he got the richest. So that's what I'm saying. He got the richest,
he got a really good deal for not having an agent.
Right. In the history of football. So I really don't think the Ravens are trying to take advantage of Lamar because, like I said, if they, first of all, he's, because he's getting advice from the Players Association, they would know. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't let that happen anyway. But I think they are kind of using him as a pawn, like hold your ground when it comes to this guaranteed money because they're trying to, make it better for future players. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. It's really saddens me because I love Lamar, man, and nothing's going to change. I'm going to root for him when he's no longer on the team. But it just sucks knowing that we had this guy, we couldn't take care of him, and he's going to win a lot of games for another team, man. It just sucks, man.
Well, just to put in the fact, it must be going in the family because your sister posted on Facebook they should just trade him a couple days ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. She on Facebook was like, I love him, but we just need to trade him at this point.
Yeah, I'm tired of the drama. We just got to move on. Let's trade him to Atlanta. They had the number 8 pick. Here's what I want the Ravens to do at this point if they can't sign Lamar. Trade him to Atlanta, get a buttload of picks, trade up to get C.J. Stroud. That's
and he'll fit in Atlanta. That black will look good on him. Give him a number 8, and he'll be 7, 8. Him and Vic,
Yeah. So
good for him.
That's
So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Post Super Bowl, always still a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We got of course the draft coming up and all that good stuff. So
right,
plenty of things. But I want to know, what questions do you have for me that are non-sports related?
Yeah. So we're going. We like to talk about movies on this show for a time. From time to time, and movies, TV, and all that stuff. And we haven't talked about movies. So I want to read you an article, and I want to get your opinion on this because I have an opinion, but I think
when don't you have an opinion?
But I think yours holds more weight because I think this means a lot more to you. Okay. But
so it's either about 2 things: mutants or Transformers. Let's count 1 2.
Well,
all right, let's see.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
So Arsenal scored 1-0 already.
Yeah. All right. My bad, everybody.
Warner Brothers Pictures is revamping the Lord of the Rings film franchise. On a Thursday evening call Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav announced that the newly installed studio leaders Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi have brokered a deal to make multiple films based on the beloved J.R.R. Tolkien books. The projects will be developed through the WB label New Line Cinema. The first Lord of the Rings trilogy, helmed by Peter Jackson, grossed nearly $3 billion worldwide. Jackson's follow-up trilogy based on Tolkien's The Hobbit matched those grosses. So basically, they're going to make new Lord of the Rings films. That's pretty much going to. I think they're going to move forward. We're not going back like Rings of Power. We're moving forward. How do you feel about How would you feel about a new Lord of the Rings film film trilogy of stories moving forward?
I didn't expect this because I had no idea. I, unlike you, I love the show that they had on Amazon Prime. I really just whatever you do, hold your comments to yourself. I really enjoyed it because that's and again, this is coming from somebody who never read one book.
Right.
I'm just strictly a movie TV fan of the series, right?
Okay.
So, they took it off the board. What the heck happened?
Uh-oh.
Freaking VAR.
Was it offside?
No goal.
Video replay.
I got to turn that guy. All right, we're not going to be on too much longer. So I'm going to have to get off.
At least they're not losing her.
I would have been like, all right, well, we'll answer that next week. Everybody stay tuned. Talk to you later, but we have 74%. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting sidetracked here. You know how it is when Arsenal's on. I love the first three. First three to me were magic, right? The Hobbit, I liked the last one the most. I like dragons. I didn't care about Smaug too much. It was okay. Again, I will watch them again, but the last one of that trilogy of the Hobbit, which came before the first trilogy, time-wise, wasn't as good to me as the first three that actually came out. How do I feel if they had three more? Maybe I guess it's like Star Wars, I guess. It's bound to be something. Again, I'm a person who hasn't seen that one Harry Potter film. So I don't even know how many. There's like 95 of those. I don't know what your future holds. I would put it like this. I wouldn't say I would look forward to it, but I won't poo-poo them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, it was such a success. And I think you could create new characters that could be good, but they need to be good. But I don't know if I trust Warner Brothers because they're the ones that have been coming out with these DC movies. Yeah,
but this is a whole different division, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that division needs to be doing the movies, not the ones that we've had. So, yeah, I would have to see. I'd have to see.
Well, I'm gonna give my quick thoughts. To me, right, and I recently watched these movies again. How do you? I just feel like in the trilogy, the stakes were so great, right?
So much was at stake.
Yeah, like how do you
Did you watch the second trilogy? Did you watch The Hobbit?
No, I did not watch The Hobbit.
Okay, gotcha.
Like how do you create something moving forward with greater stakes than we already saw? And because I feel like even with Rings of Power, we saw the onset of what's the yeah. So okay, I get that. But then we kind of revisit, but it's the same thing in the trilogy, right? It's the same thing. If he's resurfaced, he's gained power. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to take over. Yeah.
Right. So it's like we took care of that. Like you're gonna have to really buy me in as to what you kind of get what I'm saying, like, and it can't be a repeat of the old. He can't. No. You
can't, you can't have. Now is all it could be again. I know they could obviously. I don't know if he even wrote books afterwards. You
He
know
did.
what I mean?
He
He
did.
didn't. Okay, so this is all basically made up stuff. So to me, how I would take it is that Sauron's gone. You have to create a new threat, right? To me,
Right.
unlike, and that's the only reason. Like the last three of the Star Wars, I actually liked most of the movies. I just didn't like. Oh, look, Palpatine's alive because we don't know where he came from, why he's alive, for what reason. I felt like it needed to be a new where this first the new army came from. All that to me needed to be explained better. But that's why I watch all the other shows because it helps give me an explanation that I never got. You get what I'm saying? And it makes more sense. Not saying that I still love those. I don't hate them, but I don't, love them like I do some of the previous ones. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, to me, it was just like, him? Really? How? Like, that's just, it didn't sit well with me. And I know it didn't sit well for a lot of people, but especially people who aren't totally into Star Wars. If those are just movies and you saw the trilogies, but you don't watch the cartoons, you don't read the books, all those things help tie everything together for me.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people might be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I totally understand it. But that's the thing with this Hobbit. Go into after what happens. How far in the future are you going? Are you going after the king finally passes away? And going from there, you're going 100, 200 years. That's the first question. Second question is, how was everybody? All the kingdoms were now of men are finally in line now, right? So, what's the threat going to be, and where does it come from, and how? You know what I mean? So that's the two. What's your antagonist? What's your protagonist? What's going to shake all this up? Because you can't have it as just an adventure. Hey, let's leave the Shire and go have some fun. That can't happen. You have to really have it like we're in peril. People are dying. Things are going on. What are we doing? It's not Sauron. It's something else that's here to destroy us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it has to start out. If it doesn't, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Now, you can't match those to me. You can't match the first three.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you can make something compelling. That's all.
Yep. Okay.
We'll see. But that was a good question because I had no idea that was going on.
Well, I have. We can make this quick, but I did have another movie release.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, please.
Okay. All right. So March. So first of all, this year.
Did you see Ant-Man, by the way?
Say that again.
Did you see Ant-Man yet?
No, I was going to ask you about that. I might see it today. Do you want to see Ant-Man?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I'm like a strong maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, this is going to be a great year for movies, man. A lot of movies coming out in the summer, man. We got Indiana Jones. We got Spider-Verse, Little Mermaid, Mission Impossible. And that's just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But next month, we have a slew of movies coming out. And it's only March. So I'm going to list some movies.
Or next week, you should say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Starting next week, we got a slew of good movies coming out in the month of March. So I'm just going to go over some of the March releases, and I just want to get your anticipation level. Are these movies that you're excited about, or these movies that you're actually going to go see in the theater?
Are any of them named Transformers?
No, Transformers does not.
All of them are 4.
Okay, well, can I just?
Oh, yes, go ahead. I'm just saying.
All right. So first, next week, and this is a movie I'm excited about, and I will see in the theater. Creed 3. Any interest in that?
Who?
Creed.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry, Creed 3. It's a 3.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Again, Jonathan Majors, I love his acting. He's probably one of the reasons I probably would want to go see Ant-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I really have. I didn't see any of the Creeds. I don't think in a movie theater.
Okay.
I have no 3.
Well, the first 2 were pretty good. I'm really excited.
No, those are really good when I saw them on TV. I just don't. That's not something I feel like I need to pay for.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. The week after that, March the 10th, Scream 6.
Yeah. 6 minus 5.
Minus 5. Yeah. I haven't seen any of the Scream movies. I don't care.
Really?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, I saw at least the first 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they were entertaining, but it's just like I'm good.
Okay. All right. March 17th, 2 movies come out that day. 65. Any interest in seeing that?
I don't know what is that?
That's the one with Adam Driver. He's
65 million years ago. Like
yeah.
I mean, I love dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a dinosaur and they went back in time, but I'm still not gonna pay to go see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Kylo Ren in the past.
Right. All right. That same day, our first DC film of the year, Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Any interest in seeing that in the theaters?
I mean, yeah, they got a great cast. They got Lucy Liu in there, so I'm a Lucy.
Got my girl Helen Mirren in there too.
Helen, 1923. Helen Mirren, who's disappearing everywhere, by the way. Good for her.
Yeah.
She get pizzade. I do, because the first one I didn't go see, but when I saw it on TV, I was like, this actually was pretty good.
Yeah, same thing.
So I may think about it.
Okay.
So I would say it's 6. It's on the positive side.
All right, cool. Yeah, I would give that about a 6 too. All right. 2 more for you. March 24th, John Wick Chapter 4. Any interest?
I have to see Chapter 1.
You have not?
I have not seen 1, 2, or 3. So
I've seen 1.
Okay. Now, everybody says John Wick's great.
Yeah.
And I need to watch it. I'm just like, is this like just a Matrix, but he's killing people? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, it's probably a 2 for me.
Yeah, that's a wait for TV. And I've only seen 1. I haven't seen 2 or 3 yet.
Yep.
Okay. All right, now I got 2 more for you, and I'm really curious on one of these. Tetris comes out March 31st. Any interest?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Did you watch the trailer I sent?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I mean, that's not gonna sell me to go to a movie.
Okay, fair enough. I'll check it out. It's coming out on Apple Plus.
Yeah, and if the other one, what I think it is, it's probably going to be a negative 23.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I don't know, but go ahead. I want you. I'll say if it is what you said.
It's Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, negative 23.
Okay, so you're not a D&D guy.
I've never played it. Actually, my daughter does.
Oh, okay.
I've never played it once. I remember the cartoon as a kid.
Okay.
Remember there was a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I was thinking that was something you may have done. I don't understand it. I've never played it. So yeah. So now I have no interest in it.
No, I never played.
All right. Well, I was just curious. So the only one you seem like you may have an interest in is Shazam.
Yeah, I would definitely Shazam. I would probably give more credence to.
Okay. All right. That's
more
all.
credence to. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like you saw what you did there, Hurt. Yeah. Anyway, man, there's a lot more. I mean, this is just the beginning.
Listen, Guardians of the Galaxy, Transformers, Spider-Verse, not in that order. So it's Transformers, Guardians of the Galaxy. Everything else is tertiary to that.
Okay.
Period. Okay. I will be in line Thursday for Transformers.
So you're not going to see Mission Impossible in the theaters, you don't think?
That's tertiary. That's still behind everything. Everything this year is behind Transformers. Okay. There's not one thing ahead of Transformers. Period.
Really? Transformers is your most
because Bumblebee was so good that I was like, they actually made him look like Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And they made, Decepticons look like Decepticons and Autobots look like Autobots, and not the crap I had to deal with years before that. Dark of the Moon, Side of the Moon, Here's the Moon, My Mama's the Moon, whatever. The Last Night, the Black Night, the Fifth Night. I don't know. All that trash I didn't have to go through. I'm willing to, this is gonna be good.
Okay. All right.
This is gonna be good. So I can't wait.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you, Hurt.
Yeah, that works for me. I think, it was good. X Brian and X Kevin. So we had both of those on today's show. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We, of course, here on StreamYard and YouTube. Subscribe and like. We appreciate it. We want to get to 100 before the end of the year. So keep subscribing and liking. I would like to have 100 subscribers. We really appreciate you. We've been on for 4 years. So we're going to keep going because we love doing what we do. We love the show. Of course, we're on Facebook, IG, Twitter, as well as Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, and Stitcher apps. So wherever you find podcasts, you'll find us, the NY to MD podcast. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go watch the Arsenal game, and I will talk to you guys later.
Peace out.
Have a good weekend. Watch out for the snow.